That's what you call standing on business right there. Oh, makes contact, devastating shot. This dude is about to leave his feet. He is stunned. He is petrified. He's ragdolled him. Flapjack, pancake, it's a wrap. This dude wears a neck roll, guys. So this guy is about business on the field. When was the last time you seen a guy wear a neck roll? Midwest corn-fed type of offensive lineman that just is about his business. Oh my gosh. This dude, he looks like he got hit by a train. Getting crushed by a building is exactly what we're talking about right here. That is a pancake action, the best I've seen so far out of all these prospects. This guy is a ragdoller, a manhandler, a bully. More manhandling, more flapjack action, more short stacking. Let's check over. Boom. That man has left his feet. I don't know if you can see it because he's in white and they're in the snow. Dude's feet is in the air. He looks like, Uncle Phil throwing Jazzy Jeff out of the building right now.
Speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history. I can't explain
Yo,
it.
it's your boy, Big Mike Raider. And we're here for day 27 of the 30 Days, 30 Prospects Season 3. We're wrapping this thing up. We got draft day coming Thursday. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited, but let's not jump the gun. We still got work to do. Today, we're going to be talking about Raheim Rocket Sanders out of South Carolina. Played most of his career with Arkansas. Got to throw that in there. His best work came in 2022 when he ran over 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns and had some yards receiving in the backfield. This guy's a dual threat. This guy between the tackles is absolute punishing. He's a punishing running back in between the tackles. When he gets the ball, he's like a train going downhill. It's hard to stop him. He played at about 230. He went to the combine at about 217. He's trying to slim up. He has great breakaway speed, but we're going to talk about more of it. We're going to talk about the pros and cons. You guys already know what it is. We're going to talk about draft placement, how they fit with the Raiders, how he fits with the Raiders, and then we're going to do the film. But before we get into anything, I need for you guys to do a few things. Like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Big Mike Raider. So let's talk about Raheim Rocket Sanders out of South Carolina. Like I said, in 2022, he had his best season statistically in 2022 with Arkansas, running for 1,443 yards, 6.5 yard average, 10 total touchdowns, 271 yards receiving on 28 catches with a 9.7 catch average and 2 additional touchdowns. So he was up there, he was considered one of the top running backs in, upcoming in 2023. Then he got hurt at Arkansas, right? He played 6 games. He got hurt, missed most of the season, and then he transferred over to South Carolina, where in 2024 he had 881 yards, rushing 4.8 yards, not bad, 11 total touchdowns, and then added 316 yards receiving with 2 additional touchdowns on 27 carries. Pretty consistent numbers, right? He's at about 5 yards per carry. That's exactly where you want to see him. That's I would say that's a good look for him. As far as where his stock is, right? It's at the 6th rank, and to be honest with you, I don't really understand why he's that. A lot of people are saying it's because of his injury history and things like that. But he played a full season. He was 100% healthy all of last season. And for whatever reason, he was considered at one time, a top 3 running back coming out in 2023-2024, going into 2024. Then all of a sudden, we had a whole rush of running backs, kind of leapfrog him. And now he's looking at being a 5th, 6th round pick. But let's talk about some of his PFF grades, right? Raheim Sanders, like I said, he had an 81.2 overall PFF grade in 2024, 86.1 rushing grade, one of the tops in the nation, 82.8 zone grade, elusive rating of 119.4, which is on the upper end of the chart for PFF. Yards after contact, 3.69 yards after contact. So pretty good in the 75th percentile. And then if you look at some of his advanced stats, he yards after contact, 675 yards after contact. That was a bulk of his yards after the contact. So, this is a guy that can run in between the tackles and he's falling forward. So that's something to look forward to, right? And, if we look at his 2022 stats in comparison, he has an 83.5 PFF grade. So he's up there, right? He continued that trajectory of being one of the best running backs in the league. And for whatever reason, his stock is dropped. And I think the Raiders should take advantage of that. You guys let me know. Let's talk a little bit about some of his pros and cons. It's got to be talked about. Shout out to NFLDraftBuzz.com for the pros and cons right here. Boasts a dominant frame, using size to overpower smaller opposition with ease. The nickname Rocket is fitting due to explosive open field runs. Distinctive run approach keeps defenders guessing, making it challenging for them to anticipate his moves. Despite his size, showcases a surprising ability, especially in tight spaces. Has the ability to capture edges swiftly without much buildup. So this is a guy who is imposing. He's an opposing type of running back, 230 pounds, but he's a dual threat too. So it's pretty impressive seeing in his film, and it really boggles my mind why he's a 6th-round guy. I think we should really take a consideration to picking him up. But we'll get more into that. We'll get more into how he fits with the Raiders. But let's talk to some of the weaknesses, right? Lacks the nimbleness to consistently string together multiple elusive moves. Lateral agility in tight spaces needs refinement. And that's fine, right? He's 230 pounds. He's more of a power type back. He's not going to give you that second move. He's not going to shake you out of your boots. But this is a guy that you got to deal with. I'm okay with it. Pass catching utility is limited to simpler tasks. Can't reliably be deployed out wide or in slot due to underdeveloped route running skills. He has a role, right? He's going to be a guy that has a specific role for us if he's with the Raiders, right? And we'll talk about that. Has tendencies to gravitate towards unwarranted contact for going open running lanes, which increases risk of unnecessary wear and tear. And ball security issues have surfaced with multiple fumbles in recent seasons. Ensuring a consistent grip on the football is critical for his NFL transition. That's something you can work on, man. That's, some bad luck has happened over the last couple of years as far as fumbles. That's the break sometimes. It happens. But what do you guys think of his pros and cons? And to me, how he fits with the Raiders, right? I'm not saying that this needs to be our first running back we need to pick up in this draft. I'm saying if we're going to do a complete makeover of this running back room, which I feel like they're going to do, no offense to who we have currently on the roster, Zamir White, I don't think is going to work out. Sincere McCormick, he's going to have to fight for a number 4 spot if he wants to stay around here. He had some great stats towards the back end. He had his chance before he got hurt, but he also has a lot of injuries, so he has to work for it. And then you got Dylan Laube, who is remained to be seen, but I think he's going to be our special teams guy moving forward, unless he shows a little bit more. But to say all that, we're going to be doing a complete makeover of this running back room, right? So say we get, for example, in the first round, we get an Ashton Genty, more of a people like to say generational guy, more of an elusive type of back. We complement him on top of, what we already have with Raheem Mostert, who's probably going to be fulfilling that Amir Abdullah type of role. He's going to be limited carries and things like that. You add a guy like Raheim Sanders, who can be that thunder and lightning, that thunder to Genty's lightning. That's kind of how I would see it. And of course, he's going to have to earn it. He's going to have to make the team. There's going to be some guys gunning to make that 3rd, 4th running back spot. And I think that Raheim Sanders will fit in perfectly. But you guys let me know. Let's talk about some of the where people have him drafted, right? Where people think he's going to be. We have 3 6th-round picks coming up, 180, 215, and 213. So those are our 6th-round picks. I like to see him in that 6th round. I can see them picking him up in as early as the 5th round at 143. And so those are the spots you want to consider when you're looking at a guy like Raheim Sanders, especially if you're going to be doubling up at running back. PFN, Pro Football Network, has him going at 78. That's pretty high and is justifiable considering that this dude was considered one of the top backs coming out a year ago. He was considered one of the top backs. So they still believe in him. They still believe in what he can bring to the table. Number 78, it's like a third-round pick. NFL.com has him going at 162. So you're looking at the fifth round. You're looking at middle fifth, almost looking into that sixth round. MDDB has him going at 179. Draft Buzz has him going to 180. I told you 180 is that sweet spot. That's what we're picking in the sixth round, 180. And Draft Buzz has him going 180 to the Raiders, considering, that we do keep that 180th pick overall. ESPN has him going 190, and PFF has him going 219. I already told you I think a fifth or sixth round pick would be a good addition for him. But you guys let me know. But, guys, that is the pros and cons, how he fits with the Raiders, and draft placement. Now, with that, let's get into the film. Nicknamed Rocket for a reason, Raheim Sanders out of Arkansas burst onto the national scene in 2022 with a breakout sophomore campaign, rushing for over 1,400 yards and 12 total touchdowns at 6 foot and now 220 pounds. Sanders is a rare blend of size, power, and straight line speed. Though injuries slowed his 2023 season, Sanders turned heads once again, this time at South Carolina, displaying his upside as a physical downhill runner with surprising bursts remains intact, making him a potential day 3 steal in the 2025 NFL Draft. Sanders' game is built on a power forward-like frame and north-south running style. He thrives in gap and power schemes where he can find momentum and punish defenders in the second level. Despite his size, he runs with good pad level and shows decent lateral agility for a back of his build. Sanders is also capable as a pass catcher out of the backfield, adding a versatile dimension to his value. However, injuries and inconsistencies in 2023 hurt his draft stock. He struggled with bursts and explosiveness post-injury, and questions remain about his long-term durability. Additionally, while he can contribute in the passing game, his pass protection needs polish, particularly when picking up complex blitz schemes at the next level. For the Las Vegas Raiders, selecting Raheim in the 5th or 6th round would be a classic low-risk, high-reward move. With the Raiders' running back room uncertain and in need of a makeover, Sanders would provide an immediate physical presence. He could be a short yardage and early down hammer who wears down defenses, and complements a speedier backfield mate. And if healthy, Sanders offers traits that couldn't be coached: size, toughness, and downhill violence. In Allegiant Stadium's fast surface, Rocket could reignite his collegiate form and become a productive rotational piece in the Raiders' ground attack. With proper development and conditioning, Sanders has the potential to outplay his draft position and become a fan favorite in the silver and black. And also, guys, this dude looks like a guy that we remember in that number 5 with Arkansas, Darren McFadden. Looks kind of eerily similar, right? Running down there, running past defenders, running between the tackles. Only thing that's missing is him in the wildcat and throwing some touchdowns, man. But that is Raheim Sanders in a nutshell. This guy can absolutely make this team in the 5th or 6th round, being our thunder and lightning combination with possibly an Ashton Genty or whoever we pick early on as a running back. I like him in a double up type of situation. You pick a running back early, you pick another running back late. That's where I would have Raheim Sanders in this situation. 2 different running backs in what we're going to be looking at in the draft. So even if we do get Ashton Genty, if we don't get Ashton Genty, say we look at Travion Henderson, somebody that's more elusive and things like that, and then you got a guy who's a big punishing back in the backfield, and Raheim Sanders to kind of complement what he does, a change of pace type of dude. But you let me know what you think about him. That's what I think. 5th or 6th round would be perfect. Let me know in the comments. But guys, that is day 27 of the 30 days, 30 prospects, and I'll catch you on the next one. That's what you call standing on business right there.
Boom, makes contact. Devastating shot. This dude is about to leave his feet. He is stunned. He is petrified. Ragdolled him. Flapjack, pancake, it's a wrap. This dude wears a neck roll, guys. So this guy is about business on the field. When was the last time you seen a guy wear a neck roll? Midwest corn-fed type of offensive lineman that just is about his business. Oh my gosh. This dude, you look like he got hit by a train. Getting crushed by a building is exactly what we're talking about right here. That is a pancake action, the best I've seen so far out of all these prospects. This guy is a ragdoller, a manhandler, a bully. More manhandling, more flapjack action, more short stacking. Let's check those. Boom. That man has left his feet. I don't know if you can see it because he's in white and they're in the snow. Dude's feet is in the air. He looks like, Uncle Phil throwing Jazzy Jeff out of the building right now.
Speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history. I can't